Well, here we are. Every fortune begins in silence. Not in the noise of markets, but in the stillness of a man's mind. Thoughts, they are seeds. Some wither. Some bloom into kingdoms. Napoleon Hill warned us, the man who controls his mind controls his destiny. But most men, they let their minds wander like beggars in the street, distracted, hungry, unfocused. And so they remain poor. Not because opportunity has vanished, but because discipline never arrived. Dennis Kimbro told us, wealth is not first earned in the pocket. It is earned in belief. Before money fills your hands, conviction must fill your spirit. So ask yourself, what law governs your thoughts? Are they servants, or are they masters? Because a man ruled by his mind builds empires, but a man ruled by his impulses, he builds excuses. Watch the world around you. The wealthiest men, Carnegie, Rockefeller, Jobs, Bezos, they weren't born into certainty. They were born into doubt. Yet they built a fortress of belief so unshakable that money had no choice but to follow. Every fortune begins in the mind. The law is simple. Control your thoughts, and you control your world. Most men crumble when life applies pressure. They call it stress. They call it unfair. But the truth is this: pressure reveals the weak, and it forges the strong. Discipline is fire. It burns away excuses, laziness, and comfort. What's left is steel, a will unbreakable. The Stoics taught it. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not a master of himself." Marcus Aurelius wrote that the obstacle becomes the way. And today, in a world that celebrates softness, distraction, and endless comfort, discipline has become rare, which makes it priceless. Mental toughness is currency in a soft world. Men who master it are rich beyond measure, even before money comes. Because the man who commands himself cannot be bought, cannot be broken. He wins not by chance, but by choice. Every act of discipline is a deposit. A currency that compounds over time. The undisciplined man chases comfort, but the disciplined man builds strength. One wastes his time, The other invests it. And in the end, discipline pays the highest return. I am here to let you know that discipline is not glamorous. It is not loud. It is repetition in the dark when no one is watching. It is rising before dawn while the world sleeps. It is saying no to comfort. No to distraction. No to weakness. The weak man asks, "What feels good right now?" The disciplined man asks, "What builds strength for tomorrow?" Every rep, every page read, every sacrifice has a compound effect on interest. Small choices, stacked daily, become destiny. The Stoics knew, pain is the teacher, not the enemy. Hardship is the crucible. Comfort is the thief in the night. And so the question remains, will you burn in the fire of discipline? Or rot in the prison of ease? The choice is yours. Write your decision in the comments now and put it into the atmosphere. Discipline or defeat. The man who endures fire becomes unbreakable steel. Empires are not built by one man alone. They are built on trust, on influence, on the power of people. Andrew Carnegie, the steel titan, once said, "It marks a big step in your development when you come to realize that other people can help you do a better job than you could do alone." He understood a truth most men ignore. Wealth is multiplied through relationships, but weak men, they treat people as disposable. They chase applause but repel respect. They demand loyalty but give none in return. And when the storms of life come, they stand alone, and they fall alone. Powerful men move differently. They don't force influence, they earn it. Their presence commands attention, not through volume, but through character. A handshake with them feels heavier than a contract, because their word is iron. Dale Carnegie revealed the formula. Influence is not about manipulation. It is about genuine interest in others. A man who listens more than he speaks. A man who seeks to understand before seeking to be understood. That man becomes magnetic. Doors open for him. Trust follows him. Wealth moves toward him. Consider the most prosperous dynasties in history: Rockefeller, Rothschild, Ford. None of them stood isolated. Each built networks so strong that even when one branch broke, the whole tree stood firm. Their secret was not just money, it was people. But in today's world, men are distracted, isolated, disconnected. We live in crowded cities yet feel lonelier than ever. We measure relationships in likes, follows, and notifications. Hollow imitations of true connection. A man can have 1,000 contacts and still starve for one brother who would stand in the fire with him. The truth is this: success without people is failure in disguise. A fortune with no one to share it with becomes a prison. A throne with no allies becomes a target. The man who ignores the power of people condemns himself to weakness. But the man who builds people builds empires. His influence multiplies his strength. His trust becomes his currency. His reputation outlives him. And so the law stands. You cannot master wealth until you master relationships. You cannot command markets until you command trust. And you will never rise above average until you rise above selfishness. The power of people is the bridge from vision to empire. It is the fire no storm can extinguish, because it burns in the hearts of men who choose to walk with you. The power of people. It's not about who you know, it's about who would bleed beside you when the fire hits. Influence without integrity is empty. Trust without action is dead. We've seen what happens when a man tries to stand alone. But this is where the real test begins. To be continued in the IronWill Financial Code.